Okay, this is how, as a veteran, I was able to make more than $220,000, okay, with no college degree, with a side hustle, not even my main gig. Okay, that's this video. Let's get it. Now, get it. Now, if you've served in the military, you have heard of SERE training. Okay, survival, evasion, resistance, and escape. This is what we're talking about today because I have created SERE School. Now, it doesn't stand for what you think it stands for. And if you want to hear what it's all about, you're going to have to wait till the very end of the video. I'm going to tell you what the acronym is, what it stands for, and what we're doing. Okay, we're going to cast a little vision into the future. Now, we all know as military members, active duty veterans, spouses, when you go to basic training, you end up having the same haircut. You have the same shaved face. You're wearing the same uniform. Everything's the same. They just kind of strip you of everything that makes you individually you. And then they basically put you together, tear you down to build you back up, right? And then what happens to you is you get your first opportunity in tech school or just after tech school to you and your buddies that you have been with through all of this stuff, right? Embracing the suck, as we like to say. You've been through all of this stuff. And now you guys are getting your first opportunity to go off base, right? We get to go off base. We get to go have some fun. And everybody shows up in their civilian clothes. And you start looking around and you're like, who are these people? Right? Because we all come from different backgrounds. We all have different likes. We all listen to different music. We all talk differently. But when we're in that situation, when we're in that environment where we're all moving the same direction, we don't care about any of that stuff. We are bonded together because we went through something together. Right? Because we built something ourselves is what's happening a lot of times. We come into the military, most of us, this was true for me, that I didn't have my life in order. Things were in shambles. I was dropping out of school. I was working a concrete job, tying rebar together. Like my life was just in shambles. And I joined the military to kind of run away from the shambles and start my life on a new path. And this is true for so many of us that end up joining the military. And so the point of that story is that is what we're talking about today, is all of us, active duty, veterans, spouses, all of us that serve together, even if it's different generations, different wars, different campaigns, right? We all have this bond. The minute you meet another veteran, you immediately start going into these questions and having these conversations and talking about basic, talking about training, talking about the MTLs, right? Having all those conversations about what your experience was, where you were stationed, did you deploy, all of this stuff. And it's this unique bond that we all share across this entire community, right? Well, we have gotten ourselves into a place where we are so dependent as a community of military personnel. We're so dependent on the Veterans Administration. We're so dependent on the government. We're so dependent on the community that we live in. All of these people to try to take care of us so we can up-level our life, get health care, hopefully maybe get some disability, whatever it is we're going after, whatever it is we feel entitled to because of our service, right? Because we laid our life down to serve this country, something bigger than ourselves. Okay. And then because of that, we feel there should be a reward on the other end because military's not making you rich. Let's just face it, right? You can pay your bills, right? You live comfortably, but you're not rolling in it. All right. So that is part of what this conversation is, how we as a community can begin to take care of each other financially. How can we grow our wealth? How can we educate one another, operate together, collaborate with one another, and actually do some things that may benefit future generations, that we may create something that maybe we don't get to enjoy its shade, but the future generation of veterans do, that we start to push this ball down the hill and it starts to pick up momentum. That is what SERE School is all about. Okay. It is about us serving each other and not depending on anyone else. So I teased at the very beginning of this. How was I able to turn a side hustle into more than $220,000 in 2 years? Well, it's two words: real estate. I got my real estate license, and I did what I always did when I was in the military is I started to network and connect with people. That was literally the whole magic behind it, is I started to connect. But because I was a veteran, I was already connected to people that were VA loan users, that were military members, that were transitioning, PCSing, all of this kind of life change stuff that happens when you're a member of the military. And so because I was connected to this community, I was able to access it, and it brought me transactions at an early point in my career. Well, that is what I want to bring to you. I have experienced this success over the last 2 years. And now what I want to do is, for free, 100% free, I'm creating real estate training that will teach you one of two pathways. It'll teach you how to make passive money in real estate. It'll teach you how to make active money in real estate. So wherever you're at, if you're still active duty, maybe you've been in for a few years, you're thinking you're going to stay through retirement, but you really would like to make a little side money, right? A little extra income coming in so you can afford nicer things, buy a nicer house, invest in real estate, maybe do some fix and flips, own some rentals, whatever it looks like. And what's amazing about real estate is the fact that you PCS, that you leave a territory and go to another one and have a whole new group of coworkers. That's a benefit and not a detriment, because now you're going to go into a new environment, a new sphere of influence is what we call it. And you'll be able to network in there and create more opportunities with the same real estate license, because a lot of times all it takes, application, money, got your license in that state now. Okay, so this is what we're talking about. There's two pathways that SERE School is going to walk you down. Now, SERE School is a 100% free, no catch. The only thing you have to do is register: name, email, phone number. That's it. That's all we want. And that's only so we can communicate with you going forward. If there's new things coming out, if there's releases that are happening, if we're creating new training, if there's updates that you need to know about in your professional career, this way we can communicate with you on those things. So SERE School is going to take you down two pathways. The basics of real estate, everybody gets, right? A lot of that is going to be here on this YouTube channel. So like, share, subscribe, send it to your buddies, right? This is where this is going to be. The two pathways are passive and active. So when we talk passive, there's a way for you to get a real estate license and never have to show a house, never have to do any paperwork, never really have to do much of anything other than having conversations, finding people who are buying and or selling, and then send those people to an active agent that you're partnered with in your area. Now, what's beautiful about me is I'm already networked with over 19,000 agents. 600 of those are in this real military division. And so we actually are connected across the country to agents everywhere. So you don't have to go find them. We can vet them. We know if they are SERE School qualified, right? If we know that they're going to do their end of the bargain, treat your clients as if they were their own so that your name stays good. Like, this is part of this system, right? So the passive way, you basically get your license, you have some conversations, you find people that are buying and selling through those conversations, you hand them off, and then you're just going to get a check when that thing closes. Now, you're not going to get the majority of that check. You're just going to get a little referral fee. That's basically how that works. But the beauty behind that is, if you want to focus on your military career, if you want to focus on your family, and you don't want to dedicate more time, sacrifice, effort into these places, it's as simple as getting your license, which can take as little as 30 to 60 days. It can take as much as 12 months, but 30 to 60 days, get that license. And then you can be off and doing this passive income thing where you're handing clients off to an active agent in our network. And then boom, you're sailing off into the sunset and just I call it mailbox money, where you just go to sleep and you wake up the next day and a check is in your mailbox. So that's one way to do this, which I think is fantastic for active duty, right? You're going to be your military first, your family first, you're those kind of things. You don't want to try to build a business. You just want some extra income so that you have a little more leeway. You can start saving, investing, buying houses, buying real estate. Now, the second pathway is active agent. Okay. This is an active path. And so this is getting your license and then doing all the things a real estate agent does. That's what this pathway is. It's what I did, right? So I'm working a 40-hour-a-week job, but I am still an active agent full-time, doing it all the time, showing houses, doing listing appointments, selling houses, taking the photos, organizing the cleaner, like doing all the tasks that are required. So had I been a passive agent, I probably would have made about a quarter of the 220K plus that I've made over the last 2 years. But like as a side hustle without much time invested, that's pretty solid, man. Like that's 50K, right? In that range, 60, 50, 60, 70K. Like who couldn't use an extra 25, 35K every year? So even if you're a veteran and you're working a full-time job and you love your job, this is a beautiful side hustle because you know other veterans. You're probably part of a veteran community where you're at. Right? So passive or active, right? These are the two places SERE School is going to take you. Now, the purpose of this SERE training is because I have experienced a blessing from this real estate world. And I think uniquely advantaged because I'm a veteran, because I served active duty. I think about this business a lot differently than other people do. I think about the human beings and about service first, right? Excellence in all I do and the mission that's at hand, right? And so I put all of these things out there when I'm serving my clients, and it makes me treat people differently. And I think the same will be true for you. And so SERE School is going to be a 100% free training. It's going to be hosted online. We're looking at a couple different LMSs, that's learning management systems. We're going to figure out where to plant this thing. We've got the coursework, we've got the paperwork, we've got the knowledge, right? And we're going to bring that knowledge into you so that you can pick it up, you can be trained, right? Basic training, technical training, and then launch you into your career, whether it's passive or active. And then we have a community built inside of that. So you guys can communicate with each other. You can send DMs, you can do praise reports, you can do, hey, I need some help. How are you marketing? How are you marketing? How's this happening? And then inside of that group, me, myself, and some other agents, we're going to have live calls with you. So where we can do ask me anything, call them AMAs, and we can just go back and forth, ham it up, help you do better at business, make this thing worth your while. But I mean, with no cost up front, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? There's no cost up front, and you could open up the floodgates of $50, $60, $100,000 into your life. And now if you are married, that's a perfect partnership right there. You both get your license and you work that business together. This way it doesn't distract from your military service, right? If you're not married and you're single, you find a coworker, you guys partner, create some cool tactical name for your real estate group, and you guys help each other out. Okay. So there's so many ways to dissect this thing to make it successful. And I'm telling you, this training will lay out the steps to be successful. And as long as you pick them up and you do the steps and you do the work, okay, right? You do the work, because a lot of people think they're just going to get licensed and business is just going to flow, but you have to do the work. All right. But we're going to lay it out, make it super simple for you, completely free. There it is. And so SERE School, what that stands for is strategic earning in real estate. Strategic earning in real estate. Okay, that is what SERE School stands for. If you hung around to this part of the video, please like, share, subscribe, tell your friends about this, because on this YouTube channel, we're going to keep putting out information, but all of the detailed information is going to be at the SERE School. All right. That's where the actual training is going to go. But I'm just going to keep pumping out different topics about the VA loan, about home buying, about being a real estate agent, about what it would take. We're going to just kind of keep running through the numbers on this YouTube channel so that you can keep kind of testing it and deciding whether this is something you want to do. Right. I don't want you doing this stuff if you don't want to do it, but this is a fantastic way to open up the gates. And the money is so efficient. Like, it doesn't take a ton of time to be doctor level money in real estate. I promise, right? It does not take a lot of time. And so you can create these systems, you can begin to work these systems, and you can begin to step into that that surplus, right? That income, that surplus. And all money does is just open up opportunities for you, right? Money's just a tool. It's not the reason we do stuff. It's so that we can do stuff. That's what money is for, right? So I hope you like this. I hope you're excited. I hope you're going to sign up for SERE School. There's a link in the description. You can pre-sign up before the school's release, and we'll begin to kind of send you communications, send you emails, but click the link below. Let us know what you're thinking. Like, share, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.